Welcome back. Today, we are going to dive deep into a passage from the Avatamsaka Sutra, the Flower Adornment Sutra. This time, the content is particularly pure, thanks to the support of the Buddha Activity Association of Australia, which allows us to focus entirely on the essence of the wisdom shared by the Master. The material we have is a very vivid dialogue between a teacher and a student. Its starting point is simple, just the word light. But starting from this one word, it leads us all the way to the essence of wisdom, the mysteries of spiritual practice. And I must say, it completely challenges our fundamental perception of tiredness. Exactly. The most ingenious part of this dialogue is how it takes profound scriptural text and dissects it using everyday metaphors that we can understand immediately. It isn't talking about a remote theory. It's describing a reality that feels like we can almost touch it. Our mission today is to follow the logic of this dialogue and peel back the layers of wisdom behind the scripture, one by one. It sounds like a spiritual adventure. Alright, let's analyze this thoroughly. The core sentence of the sutra is this: with a heart of non-attachment and unbound liberation, accomplish the conduct of Samantabhadra. With light, shine universally throughout the void and all worlds. In this, the first thing that catches our eye is, of course, the light. Student asked very directly, what kind of light is this? Is it the physical light we can see? The master's answer was very interesting. He said it is both yes and no. It contains the qualities of physical light, but it exists at a higher level. It is what is called mind light and dharma light. To help us understand, he used two fantastic metaphors. The first is the sun. Think about it. The sun shines equally on all things. It isn't biased. It doesn't say, this tree is taller, so I'll give you more sunlight, or that flower is smaller, so I'll give you less. Right, sunlight is completely fair. But the key point is, every living thing takes what it needs. This phrasing is very interesting because it suggests that the responsibility lies with us. The same sunlight allows plants to photosynthesize and grow well, but we might be afraid of getting a tan. So we hold up umbrellas and wear long sleeves, actively blocking it out. Exactly. So even if the light of the Buddha Dharma is omnipresent, our habitual ways of thinking might cause us to reject it ourselves. Your extension of that thought is excellent. This leads to his second metaphor, a more modern one, the internet. I get this one. The master said that the merits and vows of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, especially the power of Samantabhadra's conduct, are like a massive cloud server. The content is all-encompassing, and it is online 24/7, never disconnecting. What is the key? The key is whether your device is turned on. Have you connected to the Wi-Fi? It's universe-level free Wi-Fi, with full signal bars covering every corner. But many of us are perhaps too lazy to even enter the password, or we don't even know this network exists. Right, so the next crucial question is, what exactly is this Wi-Fi password? How do we connect? The material mentions a key term, Samantabhadra's conduct. Regarding how to connect, the explanation here, I have to say, completely subverts our habitual thinking that we must do something to succeed. First, we need to understand what Samantabhadra's conduct is. Simply put, it is a vast power of vows to dedicate all virtuous actions to all living beings. It is not for oneself, which is why its energy can expand infinitely like a network. Bodhisattvas practicing this path are serving sentient beings at every moment. For example, repenting on behalf of sentient beings to clear their karmic obstacles. It sounds like there's a super team in the universe constantly working for us in silence. But if that's true, why do we usually not feel it? This is the most counterintuitive part. The master said, we don't receive it, not because they aren't there, but because we are too busy. Too busy is an interesting way to put it. Usually, when people hear about practice, they think they need to add more tasks or homework. But here, it says the opposite. Our problem is that we do too much. We are busy with wandering, chaotic thoughts. Does this mean the first step of practice is actually to stop, rather than to start? Precisely. The metaphor here is a stroke of genius. The master says it's like office cleaners. Oh, cleaners? Yes, they always come in to clean after you've finished work, when the office is empty and the lights are still on. If our minds are occupied all day by work, entertainment, and the delusions of relationships, and then occupied all night by all sorts of bizarre dreams, then the whole office is essentially throwing a party 24 hours a day. True, then the cleaners have no chance to start. They can't exactly run the vacuum cleaner around your feet while you're in a meeting. That mental image is so strong. It means our mind is like a chaotic 24-hour office that never closes, and the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are like the most polite cleaning crew, only able to sigh outside the door, waiting for the day we are finally willing to clock out. That's exactly it. So what is the master's direct advice? What should we do to let them in to clean? His advice is very direct, even a bit radical. He said, don't move anything. Don't move your mind. Don't move your body. Let them handle it. You just need to completely empty yourself. It's like handing over the office keys after work. They can then come in and clean up all the trash you've accumulated over a long time. This really challenges the fundamental idea that we must rely on ourselves to get help. Yes, sometimes true wisdom lies in non-action, in knowing how to step aside. Well said, stepping aside. That phrase is great. This wisdom of non-action and receiving seems to create an interesting contrast with the next part of the scripture. The sutra goes on to say, to obtain limitless wisdom and possess all supernormal powers, to speak various dharmas. Receiving the light is passive, but speaking the dharma is a very active behavior. The student asked, why must speaking the dharma involve wisdom and supernormal powers? Isn't sharing good knowledge enough? The master's answer was very direct, perhaps even a bit piercing. He said, if you lack wisdom and supernormal powers, then no matter how much you quote the classics or how logical you sound, you are essentially speaking blindly. Speaking blindly. That's a very high standard. If everyone needs heavenly eye powers just to share good knowledge, wouldn't no one dare to speak? For instance, does our discussion today based on this material count as speaking blindly? Wouldn't this hinder the spread of knowledge? That's a great question, and it was the student's confusion as well. But the master explained what speaking blindly means. It means speaking with your eyes closed. Speaking with your eyes closed? Yes, you don't see your audience. What don't you see? The listener's root capacity. Are they suited for the great vehicle, the small vehicle, or just basic human heavenly ethics? The listener's inclination. What is their inner preference? Do they like stories or logical analysis? Most importantly, the listener's conditions. What do they need most at this very moment? I see. If you know nothing about these things, even if you recite the entire sutra to them, you might be playing the lute to a cow, talking to the wrong audience, and fail to truly benefit them. Understood? So, supernormal powers here aren't about showing off some mystical force. No, it is a kind of extremely precise insight and empathy. As the material mentions, the full name of the heavenly eye is the heavenly eye wisdom witness power. Its essence is wisdom, a wisdom that can see the truth. It's not for spying on privacy, but for helping the other person more effectively. Precisely. If we raise this viewpoint to a more macro level, it reminds us that the core of any form of communication or teaching, be it parenting, corporate management, or knowledge sharing, is a deep understanding of your audience. Without this understanding, the best content is just a one-way dump of information. It can't truly touch the other person, let alone change them. There's a detail here that left a huge impression on me, the student. When he realized that, by this standard, he had been speaking blindly in the past, he didn't fall into frustration or self-denial. Right, on the contrary, he felt endless gratitude toward everyone who had ever listened to him speak. He said, "It turns out they were perfecting me, not me perfecting them. I was speaking blindly here, and they still listened patiently." That state of humility is a massive transformation of wisdom in itself. Truly, it's a key turning point. And this naturally leads to the next fundamental question. When did this state of confusion start for us? Is there an initial mistake, like asking if the chaos of the universe has a singularity? The master's answer again challenges our linear thinking. He said, there is no beginning. Confusion has no starting point. It is a beginningless circular loop. You can never find the head. We have always lived in confusion. We just play different confused roles in different eras and life forms. So we've been living in various labels that we've attached to ourselves through habitual perfuming. That is, through learning and imitation. Exactly. For example, our hometown accents, our food preferences, even our definitions of success, none of these are innate. They were perfumed into us bit by bit by our environment. Correct. And the key to reversing all this lies in establishing correct view. The master emphasized that once your fundamental view changes, your language, behavior, and thus all these external expressions will follow. The view is the new label you actively choose for yourself. The material mentions a very practical dilemma that I think many people can relate to. After hearing this, one student was so shocked to realize that every time he opened his mouth, he was producing wrong labels, that he became afraid to speak in any situation for fear of making more mistakes. What should one do? The master's suggestion was very practical and wise. He said, this is actually a good thing. First, you recognize the problem and stopped creating more bad karma. Then, we learn how to speak. Like a child? Yes, like a child, just learning to talk. Start with the simplest, most error-free words of kindness. For example, he said, when you see people, just say hello everyone. You've greeted everyone at once, and it's guaranteed to make them happy. If even that is hard, just use the most down-to-earth care. Have you eaten? That's very practical. It's like reinstalling your communication system. Step 1. Pull the plug and stop the old system's errors. Step 2. Start with the most basic Hello World program of positivity to rebuild a new, kind language system. Well said, it's a gradual process, but the direction is absolutely right. Alright, let's keep following the sutra. It mentions learning the limitless and immeasurable supernormal wisdom of all Kalpas eons. The student asked a good question. Can wisdom expire? Does the wisdom of one kalpa differ from the wisdom of the next? This leads to a question about the nature of wisdom. Wisdom isn't a rigid formula that applies to all eras. The master used a metaphor we can all understand, the 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, winter.
Yes, the things you should do in each season are different. You sow in spring to harvest in autumn. You can't get the seasons mixed up. Similarly, the clothes you wear in winter and summer are completely different. Right. This shows that at different points in time, different wisdom needs to be applied. And even within the same season, the situation changes every year. This spring might have lots of rain. Next spring might be dry. So the grand principles don't change, but the specific strategies need to be fine-tuned based on the unique situation of the moment. Excellently put. So wisdom isn't a static textbook, but a dynamic ability to adapt at any time. It is the ability to respond flexibly to all changes, rather than a rigid system of knowledge. As kalpa's eons change, the environment changes, and the wisdom to deal with it must also upgrade. Next is what I think is the most shocking and subversive viewpoint in this entire material. The sutra says bodhisattvas practice without ever becoming weary or fatigued. But for us mortals, let alone practice, we feel exhausted after just one day of work. Why is that? The master's insight is earth-shattering. He said, tiredness itself does not exist. It is an erroneous view taught to us by adults and society. WAIT tiredness doesn't exist. Really? That completely subverts my reality. I feel like my body is falling apart after work every day. That physical fatigue feels very real. Are you saying it's just a psychological suggestion? It's more than just a suggestion. It's a program setting that we believe in without doubt. The master gave a perfect example, playing mahjong or video games. He said some people can stay immersed for days and nights, full of energy and clear-headed, not feeling tired at all. In that state of excitement, the tiredness program is turned off. It's only the moment the game ends and the screen goes black that he suddenly remembers he hasn't slept in 3 days. Then, the thought I should be tired activates, and the person collapses instantly. I completely get that. It's like binge-watching a series. You can push through until 3 a.m. with eyes wide open. But the moment the last episode ends and the screen goes dark, you feel like the batteries were pulled out. The fatigue hits you like a tidal wave. Exactly. So that tiredness was actually waiting on the sidelines, looking for a gap in your thoughts to jump out. That's such a precise description. Furthermore, the words we say every day are like spells we cast on ourselves. If you complain to colleagues all day about being tired to death or so exhausted, you are constantly reinforcing and executing that tiredness program. So, true practice isn't about overcoming fatigue, but fundamentally uninstalling that old, wrong program and installing a new view of never becoming weary. So, when I say I'm so tired, I'm not just describing an objective state. I'm actively creating that reality. This is a huge wake-up call. So in higher realms like the Tushita inner court mentioned in the text, do those beings truly not need rest? The master explained the key difference. He said the beings there have light bodies, not material bodies made of earth, water, fire, and wind like ours. The material of the body is different. Our bodies are flesh and blood, animal level. They have physical limits and need recharging through food and sleep. But a light body is an energy body. It doesn't have these physical needs, while they might still have the habit or thought of wanting to eat or sleep. Because they don't have this material body as a carrier, those needs don't actually generate any force. I see. It's like wanting to drive a car, but there's no car in front of you. Exactly. And the environment there is the ultimate practice ground. The master mentioned a detail. There are heavenly drums that automatically speak the Dharma. The moment you have an impure thought, like a thought of greed for food, the heavenly drum will immediately sound for you, speaking the Dharma specifically for that thought. Like an instant alarm and tutor, it reminds you and helps you awaken, unlike here, where a thought of greed just makes us open a food delivery app. No heavenly drum to shout at us. So, what does all of this mean? We started with the word light, talked about the wisdom of passive receiving, the art of insightful speech, how to reverse deep-seated wrong views, and finally even subverted our understanding of tiredness, the most basic physiological sensation. Indeed, if you string the whole dialogue together, its core points to a very fundamental idea. The reality we experience, whether it's external relationship, or internal physical feelings, is largely determined by the views or labels held within our minds. And so-called practice is actually a process of constantly being aware of, bravely challenging, and wisely replacing these restrictive labels. At the very end of the dialogue, they mentioned the story of Hui Neng, the sixth patriarch of Zen. I think this provides a perfect footnote for our discussion today. When the sixth patriarch was being pursued by ill-intentioned people on his escape route and faced a life-threatening situation, he placed the robe and bowl, the symbols of the Dharma, on a rock and said, "This robe and bowl represent the faith of the Buddha Dharma. How can they be taken by force?" He was so calm not because he was weak or unable to resist, but because in his view, his priorities had completely shifted. His state of mind had transcended attachment to his physical body. What he cared about most was the supreme mission of passing on the Dharma. The robe and bowl were in his hands. He had to pass the lineage down. Compared to this great mission, the survival of his physical body, the label "I will be killed," had lost its meaning to him. This leaves us with a very profound reflection. In our lives, what labels do we believe in without doubt? Labels about our abilities, our limits, our relationships, or even "I am just an introverted person," or "I am a hot-tempered person." Are these self-definitions perhaps acting like an invisible cage, restricting us? Is it possible that because we are clinging so tightly to these labels, we are unable to see the more important mission in our lives, or a broader, freer possibility? We'll leave that question for you to ponder slowly.